into it.
Yeah.
Heavenly Father, up above.
If you don't get this shit right, I'm gonna fucking kick your ass.
Now go to hell where you belong, you son of a bitch!
Let's go! Go! I can't wash the dishes right now!
Do you want some money? Luckily, I got a game for you that's way too messy. But don't get too chummy, cause you ain't the only contendee who loves money. The winner of I Love Money will walk away with some illustrious prizes, such as a coveted spot in the DH1 Hall of Fame, and a cash prize of up to $100,000. Results may vary. So what are we waiting for? Let's bounce some checks.
Love that. Okay, so to the audience that just tuned in, I'm here with Brandon, who was just recently eliminated tonight. And if you don't know me, I'm Erin. I won season 8 of I Love Money, and my player won in season 11. So I'm a 2-time inductee. So I'm here hosting the interview tonight. So Brandon, how are you feeling?
I'm surprisingly doing okay. Like, I put a lot into this game. I was playing all day, every day. And, like, the thing is, the last 2 rounds, I was also in the box due to twists or what have you. Tonight, I basically ended up in the box due to a technicality, and I'm kind of okay with that. You know, I'd rather go out from something that feels a little bit beyond my control than something I feel like I directly caused.
So you say you went in tonight due to technicality. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Maybe.
Yeah, so the rules state you have to say 2 names. According to Dylan, he's never had to, like, enforce that rule since season 8, your season, I guess. Yeah. And so I'll just explain how my night kind of went. So we went into the night, the people I had been speaking to, I feel like we had a very clear plan of let's evict Cody. That was my plan, at least. I guess maybe either people were lying to me or just weren't as on board as I thought. So when I came close to winning Paymaster, it didn't work out, Jess won. But when we got to the deliberation, and I very confidently, I'm like, okay, I'm going to say Cody and raise my hand. And then I saw one other hand go up. I was like, oh, that's different. That's not what I thought would happen. And so for the rest of the stream, my brain was just kind of like running through, well, why? Like, what was the plan? How did this happen? I can't, if I would have stayed, I can't say Alexis going home necessarily was my choice for that round. And then we got to round 2. I thought, honestly, I'd go out early in the dance competition. I was surprised I wasn't dead last. But by the time Shelby started speaking, just going full scorched earth, I loved it. It was so fucking entertaining. I mean, I knew there was no one else we were going to throw votes on. I was honestly surprised they didn't throw votes on me. I thought that might happen. Which my whole game has been about doing enough math to not get the votes on me. So I was kind of, I guess I kind of set myself up there, but I had no other names to say. I said Cody's name again, did not get the votes. And I guess I was thinking about burning a vote on Lucy, but we still had 8 minutes on the clock when they're like, okay, we're not going to talk anymore. And that's when Dylan was like, oh, by the way, the only people who actually voted were Shelby and Cody. So once I hit the box, not to rob Julius of any agency, I think of the 3, I was probably the most likely to go. If I really wanted to, I could have campaigned against Kyra, but, like, to be entirely frank with you, I just love Kyra on a personal level. Like, sure, me and Kyra have talked some game, but that really wasn't the basis of our relationship. We just made each other laugh. We had very good reaction shots. So I used to love her so much as a person. I wasn't going to burn her. And Debbie, she's just such a sweet mama bear. I couldn't do it to her. And at the end of the day, could I have fought and clawed and scratched and tried to stay? Sure. But I don't even know if it would have paid, and I guess would have ended up burning 2 of my favorite people to go home anyway. I didn't see the benefit in that.
Kind of going back a little bit, you said that going into tonight, people were telling you that they're going to go vote Cody in. Who told you that Cody was going to go in? The audience wants to know.
The audience wants to know.
Audience.
I'm not going to burn them. I mean, I feel like these exit interviews, I've told a couple people, I feel like, this game is very different than any other social strategy game, right? Like, most games like Big Brother or Survivor, the votes are private. The whole point is lie. And that's been most of my game. I mean, I've been lying to a lot of people, saying a lot of different things to a lot of different people, and was honestly shocked that playing with so many different people never caught up with me. But in terms of I'm out of the game, I'm not going to blow up the people who said they would vote for Cody and didn't. But I will say that in my head, like, I mean, it was a bunch of people. It wasn't one person. I felt like we had the numbers to do it. And I've honestly only played this game with math. Like, when I went against Cody, it was not, I mean, I will say some of the behaviors from Cody were not appropriate and I didn't approve of them. But when I've talked to Cody before, I've even explained it to him very frankly. Like, I did not go against you because I don't like you. We would shoot the shit. We would have some fun together. I went against Cody because half the house hated him. And I felt like they were getting galvanized to the point where if I was exposed as working closely with Cody, it would burn other relationships for me that I felt like I needed later in the game. I feel like for Cody, it would have made him feel better if I just said, I hate you, and that's why I went for you. That's not why I targeted Cody. I was playing it from a numbers perspective, and if we would have gotten that vote out on Cody and my numbers would have stuck together, I genuinely believe those numbers plus me would have made a deep run. But it's just math. I mean, this whole game, you have to vote people onto the block. Yes, there's dead last. But once you lose the numbers, like, you're not getting them back.
So you went in, you know, you don't have to burn bridges because that's what you said you don't want to do. The numbers weren't on Cody. How did you feel when your maths weren't mathing?
I was just shocked. Like, at this point in the game, I think it's very clear, you know, Cody and Cheyenne are a very strong duo, and I give Cheyenne all the props in the world. I think she's a very good player, and I will say that on a personal level, I really fucked with Cheyenne. I really did. And she was, at a certain point, she was very, very loyal to me, and I felt badly going against Cody because I had to burn Cheyenne in that process, and I didn't want to do that to her. That's one of the few regrets I have is burning Cheyenne, and they both made it clear to me, or I found out today, that they were trying to get votes put on me today. So when it came down to the numbers, like, we could have gotten Cody on the block, we could have sent him out, but now that, you know, he isn't gone, he's still there. He's still with Cheyenne. Cheyenne's a comp beast, to be honest with you. She won immunity twice tonight. And if I never went against them, they would still have an immunity idol and a steal a paymaster. So, like, at the end of the day, ask him if he likes Buddy. At the end of the day, I could have ridden this game with Cody and Cheyenne. I could have gone far with them. But they were always going to take each other to the end, and they always had their advantages. When it came to going against them, like, they're going to have each other. Other numbers they might have. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but I want to say, Jarvis, I love you, my dude, but you're playing a very scared game. You're afraid to ever say a name. And at a certain point, like, I was working with a lot of people, and I was still fucking saying names. And that's why I went against Cody and Cheyenne, is because I had to say some names. I had to pick a side. I chose a side. There are sides in the house. If you do not think there are sides in the house, you're not paying attention to who's fucking working together. Like,
Right. So if all these people had loyalty, allegedly, to you, why do you think they didn't stick together? Oh, this is a question from Chantel.
I think that certain people felt like getting Shelby out was a priority. Mm-hmm. And people will know that, like, Shelby, I did not raise my hand against you tonight. That's not because I'm loyal to you. That's because you scared the fucking shit out of me. My biggest fear was always, you're always blowing up the house chat. I was always afraid you'd do that to me. And so, yes, I talked to a couple people behind your back saying, at some point, Shelby needs to go. Because I played a very meticulous game. My game was very behind the scenes, secrecy, making sure all my relationships were kept private, making sure people didn't compare notes. And Shelby's whole game was, everyone compare notes. Let's try to blow shit up. And I found it very entertaining. Like, at the end of the day, I'm kind of glad Shelby stayed over me because I think she's going to be much more entertaining than I would. But when it came down to it, some people's own self-interest was Shelby is targeting me. I need to get Shelby out. My self-interest was Cody and Cheyenne have said my name. Votes are going to come to me at some point. I need both of them to go. Shelby's willing to vote against them. She didn't tonight. I guess the numbers weren't there. I don't know where Shelby's at. She cuts deals sometimes, but we needed Shelby's vote. So, like, if Shelby goes before Cody, we no longer have the votes necessary to get out Cody. Like I said, this game is a lot of math. Mm-hmm. And sure, you can hope someone goes on the block because of dead last, but once you don't have the votes to put people on the block, you're going to be the one seeing the block.
Right. You mentioned that, I think you mentioned Julius, you said that didn't say a name.
I said Jarvis.
Jarvis, sorry, yeah.
Is someone who I absolutely adore. We've had a lot of great personal talks, and I tried working with him and I tried doing some things with him. The problem is that he won't commit. He won't commit to either side. He thinks that, I don't know who he's actually loyal to, and that's fine. Like, I don't want to blow him up. I don't want to say that he's with one side or the other, but what I'll say is that he's afraid to make any statements. I mean, Johnny's doing the same thing. Johnny never says any names. Johnny tries to speak as little as possible because he thinks he's going to fly under the radar. But as I keep saying, like, people are forming groups, and if you're in the middle, eventually those groups, yeah, sure, they're going to come after each other. But once one cannibalizes the other, they're going to take out the people in the middle. And funny story about Johnny is that, hey, you know what's crazy? Johnny says good morning to me every single morning. Does he do that to you too? Did he call you sunshine? Did he say top of the morning to you? Johnny gives the same good morning messages to everybody every day. And the way I describe Johnny is I talk to him every single day. So if he was willing to go after me at some point, you got to think about your relationship with Johnny.
Right. So tonight, you said in the box that you didn't see Debbie or Kai go. You don't want to see them go. Sorry. Who are you who are your number one allies? You feel like you're truly loyal to in this game?
I was very loyal. See, I guess like I don't want to blow up their games. Like, it's just not. I don't want to like influence the game because I'm out of it. I guess I love these people so much, and I guess if
you're out of it, you're out of it. Spill the beans.
Sure. The people I was close with, Kyra, really connected on a personal level. Did not talk a ton of game. I think me and Debbie had a lot of things in common. Like, we talked a fair amount, and I think she guessed, she was kind of like a mama bear. Like, she felt defensive about me. And yeah, there were just people who I felt genuine connections with. And the people who I've said that to, who I said I would have been loyal to, I was genuine in saying that I would have been loyal to you. There were a lot of people I said, I have your back. And I have your back is a very vague term. It means I have your back until it no longer serves me, and then I'll do what I got to do.
Gotcha. So you were in the bottom, 3 out of the 4 past rounds. Do you think that reflected where you stood in the game, or do you think you were more like just an easy vote?
Oh, no, I don't think I was an easy vote at all. Like I said, my whole game was math. My math was, if we're playing by I Love Money rules, if I don't come in dead last and they have to vote someone on the block, even tonight, they still did not have the votes to get me on the block because I was working with a lot of people. And if tonight we would have prevailed in the way I wanted us to and cut down some of the numbers on the other side, they would have never had the votes to get me in the box. The thing with the partners, the safety chain, production can tell you, I was very excited at coming in last. Because all of my allies, all I ever did was stress to them was discreet. I think Shelby actually is the one person who genuinely would have been fine seeing me go. She was third to last and picked Jess H, saying, oh, she would have picked you. I don't think that was ever true. I think Shelby, the same way I was kind of plotting against her, I know for a fact she was kind of plotting against me too. But yeah, no, that situation was because no one wanted to reveal they were working with me. The other night, I went in the box because Cody had an anonymous HOH and Cody or Cheyenne, one of the two, took it over. And I would have went home if Jake would have been willing to cut a deal. Tonight, I was off my game tonight. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, after that first vote went down, I was very in my own head. And I just wasn't paying attention to what was going on. I should have said a second name, but through my own fault, I did not say a second name, and Julius picked me. And like I said, could I have fought and scratched and thrown shit at the wall against Kyra more likely than Debbie? Probably could have if I wanted to. But, I'm proud of the game I played. Like I said, I think I played more of a Big Brother game than an I Love Money game. I was working with the majority of the house, and I knew at some point likely those notes were going to be compared. And I was finally at a point where I was like, okay, I know the people I'm working with. I know the people I'm against. I'm comfortable saying the people I'm against name. But the people I was working with wouldn't say those names. So, like, it's all calculus.
Right. We mentioned earlier about, like, easy votes and how you're not an easy vote, and it was you were playing the math game. It seems like this season the easy votes have been somewhat Cody and Shelby. if Cody and Shelby eventually get eliminated, who do you think is next?
I think Alexis was getting a lot of votes too as a pawn. I honestly don't see Cody going soon. I think if we weren't able to get the votes on him tonight, they're not gonna get votes on him unless people really band together. But I think now the people see it. Like the problem with this game is that certain people, and I hate to keep using Jarvis as an example because genuinely, dude, I think you're great, but it's a scared game. It's like, okay, I'm gonna burn my vote every chance I get to avoid showing my cards. But when you do that, you tell your allies that they can't trust you in a pinch. That when you need them to vote with you, you're not going to do it. Like at the end of the day, I burned Cheyenne more than once because I was trying to prove to my allies that's who I was against. If Cheyenne and Cody weren't together, I would have loved to work with Cheyenne, but I knew that once I burned Cody, she was coming for me. And like, I had a very frank discussion with her today where I said to her, I'm not going to promise you I won't say your name. Which, is that sloppy gameplay? Sure. I could have said to her, oh, I got your back. I'll never say your name again. But I felt like when I did that for the third time, she would have been more pissed at me if then I just was outwardly targeting her and Cody, which is what I was doing because I thought I had the numbers behind me. But, you know, it is what it is. We make plans. God laughs.
So you're on the jury now, and you've mentioned scared gameplay, and you speak very passionately about it. What would you say is the least respected gameplay that you play with? Does that make sense? Is that question?
Yeah, no, for me personally, I think the person's game who I honestly respect the least might be Johnny. I just feel like it's very transparent what he's doing. He does not say 5 words at the vault ceremonies. And like at the beginning of the game, I wanted to do something similar. I wanted to stay under the radar, and that was much easier to do when the bounties were still in play. That was a big part of my strategy at the beginning was keep my name out of the conversation, let the bounties go on other people, and when push comes to shove, you can shove out the people with bounties on their heads. So I was trying to play under the radar, and the reason I eventually stopped being under the radar was, like I said, I took stock of the house, and I said, okay, Cody is pissing people off. There's an entire group of people who are being galvanized against Cody. If I stick in this alliance with Cody, which, due to circumstances, was never going to last because there were certain people who... Yeah, why don't I just spill all the tea? So, okay. Okay. I want to apologize to Jess R, I guess. I really did like you on a personal level, but I found out through channels that you were actively working against my game. And I don't know if you were loyal to Cody or not. All I knew was that you weren't loyal to me. And to me, that meant you were loyal to Cody. So when... I know a lot of people are putting a lot of heat on Shelby because Shelby was the one who evicted Jess. That's a true statement. Shelby, on paper, did evict Jess, and I would never say that I control Shelby's decisions because she's a free thinker, and she will do whatever the fuck she wants. But when I say I shoved Jess R in front of a fucking bus to try to get her out of the game, I did that shit. Because I had a game plan. My game plan was... go against Cody, get the numbers against Cody, whittle Cody's side down until there was no one left. On my own side, have numbers that were good for me, and then ride those numbers to the end. And the few people I actually like loved and adored, I would have fought to the death for. I don't know how an end game would have worked out, but basically what I'm saying is that like I never looked at this game through a personal lens. I never said I don't like Cody, that's why I'm going against Cody. I was taking as much stock of the social dynamics as possible, and I had a lot of info coming to me. I'd say that was my greatest strength, was controlling the flow of information. Info came to me. As people who worked somewhat closely with me to attest, I did not give that much info out. I kept it close to the vest.
Why do you think people trusted you with this info?
Because I was not one to throw others under the bus to get in good with someone. Like, when I first started talking to Shelby, she was basically like, oh, we can spill our entire games to each other. And I said, I'm not going to do that with you. I'm going to give you some info, and I'm hoping to build trust with you until we can give more info to each other. I didn't start conversations by saying, hey, this person's targeting you, or hey, you should worry about this person. I would build trust in natural ways. And one of my biggest strategies in the game was I did not talk game with everybody. there were a bunch of people who I just had a personal relationship with, and at the end of the day, my thought was, if I have a good personal relationship and I'm on the block, and they, it's me or someone else. Like I sent Alexis an omelet every single morning, and we rarely ever talk game. I used to enjoy doing it. And my thinking was that, like, if I ever needed to turn personal relationships into game relationships, I could always make that turn. But it wasn't necessary with everybody. And at the end of the day, you can't work with everyone in this game because you have to say names. And up until this point, I was very afraid of burning certain people because they would come after me. And then eventually I said, fuck it. I'm with these certain people. We can ride to the end. I'm ready to hardcore say names. And that's when all those people got scared and did not want to say the names out loud because they doubted the plan. It happens.
Mm-hmm. Kind of going back a little bit, we talked about which gameplay you kind of respect the least. What gameplay or whose gameplay would you say you respect the most as of right now?
Like I said, I have a lot of respect for Cheyenne. Mm-hmm. Like, Cody's game is very straightforward. Like, he is loud and he's talkative, and when he's trying to be manipulative, you know that he's trying to be manipulative. Mm-hmm. Cheyenne is really the brains of those two. Like, she, for days, like, I told you, I have a lot of information coming to me, has been working on a personal relationship. She tried to do it with me too, and saying, I don't hold grudges. I don't blame you for voting for me. Like, we can still be good. And that's just not how the human brain operates. Like, once you're burned, you don't trust someone 100% again. And that was always in the back of my head with Cheyenne. It's like, oh, I could promise her we'll be good forever. But I would always know that at some point she was going to come for me. Mm-hmm. But no, I respect Cheyenne a lot. I think she's a very good game player.
You said Cheyenne is the brains of those two?
Oh, 100%. Like, Cody had a general plan of, I'm going to build a structure around me. I'm going to stay insulated, and I'm going to call the shots in this alliance, the House of Laganja, and we're just going to start taking out people on the other side. Sure. It was in a traditional Big Brother game, like, you want a structure around you. You want to be insulated. But he was playing with people like me and Jess R., who understood exactly what he was doing. And we came at it from different sides. Jess R, I think, wanted to insulate herself inside that structure while keeping allies outside of it and eventually maybe turn on Cody. I don't know what her plan was, to be honest with you. And I will say, I think, like, I don't know how much everyone got to know her. I think she's a better game player than I am, to be honest with you. The only reason I pushed her out was a total sign of respect because I thought she could genuinely win this game. I saw an opportunity to get her on the block and to try to push her out, and I took full advantage of that opportunity because she wanted me to throw a competition. And I think she wanted me to throw it so that she could take out Shelby, who I needed to keep numbers on my side against Cody. But no, I think Cheyenne understands more so that the game is more personal relationships than it is about structure. Because if you're in this game where you have to say names, structures become transparent very quickly. Like, people knew who Cody was working with, and people were trying to jump ship because they felt like Cody was calling all the shots. And he was. I mean, it was Cody's alliance. Like, he brought me into the alliance, and I worked with Cody for a couple days, maybe a week. Like, I was on his side, and if I could have rode the middle for the whole game, I would have considered it. I guess I saw where I thought the tides were turning, and I took a definitive stance, which at the end of the day, did it come back to bite me? Probably. I mean, I'm out of the game, but I have no regrets about how I played. I wasn't playing for 5th. I wasn't playing for 6th. I was playing to win. And by the end of tonight, like, if I didn't go into technicality, could I have gotten back with the people I was close with, tried to rebuild a structure, tried to go against Cody, tried to yada yada? Yes. No, I could have done it. I could have scratched and clawed and maybe still eventually could have won the game. But when I got down to the block, I think Julius was going to send me home either way. And the only way to assure he didn't do that would have been to, I don't know, make up a lie about Kyra that she's the mastermind. And I wasn't going to do that to Kyra. Like I said, me and her mostly bonded on a personal level, not a game level. And I have nothing but love for that girl.
Right. There's 2 things you said in that I want to kind of harp on a little bit. I think you kind of answered it, but just to like kind of clarify, you said that Jess R, you were willing to kind of push out because you saw her as a clear threat to win. Today, it was purely like for moral reasons you didn't do that, or do you think that they have no chance of winning, Kyra and Debbie?
I wouldn't say moral reasons. If I was in the box with someone else, if I was in the box with Johnny, I would have pushed Johnny in front of a fucking truck.
Sorry.
Being in the box with Kyra and Debbie, and Julius was on the other side. Like Julius had said several times, he was fine with me going out. Like, and once we got down to the box, like I will say again, Julius, I think you're a really cool guy. Like I never really wanted to target you. Anyone who I targeted was because I felt like they were playing the game with Cody, and I was very publicly against Cody. It never came down to personal things. Sitting with Kyra and Debbie in the box, like sure, like I said, maybe I could have stayed, could have rebuilt something, could have pushed forward. And it's not like I'm saying I wanted to leave the game. I really didn't. I guess I felt like the most likely scenario either way was me going. And if in order to try to stay, I had to burn them on the way out and then I left anyway, I would feel god awful that I did that to them and left the game anyway.
Gotcha. Another thing that you said was that the lines in this game are very transparent. As a viewer who can't see the lines as clearly, how would you, what are these transparent lines that a viewer might not be able to see?
I'm not going to name all the names on every side because I want the game.
Why not?
No, I want the people in the game to still keep playing the game.
Okay, I got
I'm sure
you.
Shelby later tonight will blow up the house chat with all the information I've ever given her in my life, which was little because I know that's what she does. And my biggest fear, like I said, was Shelby fucking burning my game to the ground before she left, which is why I never raised my hand against her. But I think it's obvious. There's Cody's side. Cody has people around him. Cody is less insulated, and I disarmed him as much as I could. I took away his idol. I took away his anonymous HOH. I got out Jess, who's someone he was working closely with. But yes, the last couple rounds, I mean, he disarmed the other side. He took out Jake. He took out Colin. And, like, I love them both as people, was fine with them going because sooner or later I was going to have to pick a side on our side, and this kind of solidified, I thought, the side against Cody. But there's Cody's side. And then I'll put it easily because they've publicly been against Cody. I thought there was also Giraffe's side. And after Giraffe saved me the other night, I made it clear to Giraffe's, like, I'm with you. I want to go against Cody. Was I actually loyal to Giraffe's? Not necessarily. I promised Giraffe's I'd never say their name. And for my own social equity, I don't think I ever would have said Giraffe's name. But if Giraffe's left, I would not have shed a tear. Like, I think Giraffe's is cool. It's nothing personal, I guess. That's not who I was working with. I mean, the people I was actively working with, I've been actively working with since day 5, day 6. The people I started working with, you know, in this new alliance that I thought would be good to me, I started working with 2 or 3 days ago, you know, like.
I guess, but then moving forward, who would you say you're rooting for?
Who am I rooting for? Fuck. I don't want to put a target on the people I actually like. Like, that's the stupid part. Is not from a game perspective, not from nothing, is that the people I was in the box with, I love Kyra to death. I think she's so much fun. I think she's such a fun spirit. I think she's so sweet. And I know she probably feels terrible because she feels like, you know, some of the people she was working closely with went home and she maybe could have avoided that. But at the end of the day, there's twists. There's shit that goes down in this game that you can't control. I know I felt that the last couple rounds, that I had plans on plans and I ended up going out from something I felt like I couldn't control. I mean, I'll say it out loud. I was in the box with her. I'm rooting for Debbie. I think Debbie has a lot of passion. I think she's someone who really cares. And yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at.
Okay, I have one more question for you. Now that you're on the jury, what will go into your decision?
My jury decision will be the same as the way I played the game. It's not personal, baby. It is just game. I want to know what people are doing. Like, if you watch the streams, you will not know 80% of the game I played. You will see that I won on the block 3 times and eventually went home. And I don't know, if I ever get the call for All-Stars, I'll be happy about that. But so much goes on behind the scenes. So much happens in phone calls that when you get to the final 2, and, you know, I'm the foreman of the jury now. I can compare notes with people. Like, I want to know what moves people have been making, like who's actually loyal to who's working against who. But yeah, no, it's at the end of the day, at the end of the game, it's going to come down. It's not come down to who I like. I'm sorry, people who I like. It's going to come down to who played the best game, because that's how I would have wanted to been judged. If I made it to the end, I'm sure I would have pissed people off and burned people. And I would have wanted to be judged on my game.
So I'm going to kind of give a shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for all watching. And if you have any questions, please take this time right now to ask them. And during this time, while we kind of wait for any questions to trickle in, if there are any, kind of give your any thoughts that you may have.
Yeah, so let me just look at the cast and see what I have things I want to actually say too. Australian Jess, you're so sweet. Like I honestly respect you because you're on the other side of the world. I know the time difference makes it hard. Trying to send a journey match. Yeah, start playing the game. Like, the thing is, the people who don't say anything, like Johnny who sits there and says nothing, like, sure, you could play under the radar. At the end of the day, it's an org. Like, yes, there's money at the end. I would have loved to win some money. I love money, obviously, but like that's not why I was here. I've never played an org before. I've just watched every season of Big Brother, some of them twice, every season of BBK, and every season of Survivor, every season of The Challenge. I've listened to thousands of hours of Taryn's podcasts on RHAP. Like, at the end of the day, I wanted to see how I can play one of these games and see how far I can make it and see what my skill set was. And I learned everything I need to learn. Like, my dream is Big Brother. I've been trying to get in shape to do that. That's really my biggest hindrance to trying to be on that show. And I learned about myself. Like, I'm not going to play a personal game. Like, I'm not going to blow up on people because I'm angry at them. I'm going to compartmentalize everything. I'm going to go with the numbers, and I'm going to play based on logic, not just who I feel like I like and who I don't. I learned a lot of lessons about the people you can trust are the people who prove it to you with their actions. Only a handful of people in this game fucking prove that to me, and that's why I harped on Jarvis. It's not that I didn't like him, nor was I not loyal to him. It was that the few times when I felt like I actually needed his support and needed his vote, he was willing to burn it on somebody else. And like, when you're in the heat of the game, like, again, we're playing an org. Like, we're here just to play a game and to have fun. There's really you're not playing for $500,000 here. Like, you shouldn't just float through the game. You should get to the end of the game and say, these are all the things I did. And if I made it to the end, that's what I wanted to do, was explain my game to the people and say, this is what I did behind the scenes. I have no qualms going out, I guess, 12th place. Like, I'm proud of the game I played. And if I went out on a technicality because I didn't say another name, like, I'm okay with that. Like, I really am. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I've been sleeping like shit for the last week, so I'm actually going to sleep well tonight.
I'm happy for that. So Joseph Boza did ask a question. Shout out to Joseph. I have seen him in the chat throughout the season. Did you feel like you would have been safe if people sent votes in?
Oh, yeah, 100%. They tried to put a vote on me. They said, Cody said twice now, he said, are there votes for Brandon? I think they got a few. I think they might have gotten up to 3 or 4. And so if I would have stayed in, like, sure, that was kind of my whole strategy throughout the game, was have a few people I'm actually working with, but have enough good relationships and know enough people that it would be difficult for them to put votes on me. The things I didn't plan for, like I said, were twists where I just end up in the box anyway. But no, it would have been tough for them to get votes on me. And, you know, when I look back, I was planning on just burning a vote on Lucy. I probably should have done that. But I was just so thrown off by the people not going through with the plan to vote out Cody. Like, when I say that there are people talking a big game about we need to get Cody out, and it's, you know, for other people, it's about his behavior. It's about the things he said. It's about the way he treated Jake. I get that. I really do. I get that is how some people view this, you know, the way they want to navigate.
Can you elaborate a little more on that?
Sure. I mean, Cody has said plenty of things. He said to Jake, you're not important. Like, you don't matter. That's why I'm not using your name. Like, I thought on a human level that was fucked up. Did I confront Cody about that? Did I get into a screaming match with him? No. Because at the end of the day, I was here to play the game, not bring in my personal feelings about things. But there are people who are galvanized against him for those reasons. And I think Jake and Colin were 2 of them who left. And I think the galvanization kind of died down. I know Giraffes feels a lot of personal feelings for Cody, which are valid. Like, some of the things Cody said, like I said, are not copacetic. And Cody's very good at being like, you know, I like all people and I didn't mean those things. He's good at turning it around and pretending to apologize, but I don't think he was actually apologizing for any of those actions. But there were a lot of people who were on my side saying, we'll get Cody, we'll get Cody, we'll get Cody. And the funniest part was, I was the one person who was like, it's not about getting Cody, it's about keeping the fucking numbers. Like, we could have had the numbers till the end of the game, and they chose to get out Shelby because they felt like Shelby was targeting, even though Shelby, on the way, like tonight proved, she's literally working with nobody else. And I want to see Shelby burn this game to the ground because I find her much more entertaining than most of the other people who's playing this fucking game.
Okay, it's been addressed in the chat, and we're gonna address it one more time. So, people did not vote with you. So, okay, just one more time. Why do you think they didn't vote with you? Why do they think that they would choose to keep Cody and choose to keep? Did they keep Shelby? I can't remember, but they definitely kept Cody. Like, why Cody in the game? If they're so, what was your word? Galvanizing? Yeah.
I think, like I said, when Jake and Colin left, a lot of the rhetoric died down. A lot of the we really need to get him. And so they felt less obligated to come at it from a personal perspective. And certain people were very afraid of Shelby coming for them, or Shelby would ruin their game. And I think they thought they could have their cake and eat it too, that they would vote Shelby on the block, and that for some reason Jess would vote Shelby out, even though Shelby literally just saved Jess over me in the safety chain. So I think they just thought, oh, we can get Jess out and then worry about Cody later. I don't think it was anything that had to do with, like, we're not against Cody or we don't plan on going against Cody. I think they thought there was a more pertinent threat to their game, and that Cody and Cheyenne were more directly coming for me and Shelby than them, so maybe we could be shields for them. But the chickens are going to come home to roost. Like, sure, maybe Cody and Cheyenne don't actually have the numbers I thought I did. Maybe, after listening to me speak, maybe people realize that maybe we have to turn on them. Maybe they don't. I don't care. I mean, I'm not in the game anymore. But
say whatever you want to now.
At the end of the day, like I said, I did a lot of math. Every day I looked at the cast and I said, who does it make sense to stick with? Who does it make sense to turn on? Because if I wanted to, I could have worked with every single person in this game. I was working with every single person in this game at one point or another. But I came to a point where I realized I need to say names out loud. If I'm not saying Cheyenne and Cody's name, I don't want to say Jarvis's name because we were still kind of working together. I don't want to say Julius's name because he took it kind of personally every time I said his name. I didn't want to say Alexis's name because I would send her an omelet every morning and I didn't want to be mad at me. I don't know. Like, you're going to have to say names. That's the bottom fucking line, is like, you can keep playing both sides as long as you want. You could think, oh, but I'm actually good with Cody, because some of the people who didn't go against Cody, I'm sure, think that, oh, maybe he's actually on my side. He's not. Spoiler alert. Like, you've burned him in the past. You've publicly gone against him and Cheyenne before. Like, he is not with you. I can only explain it so many times. The way the human brain works is once you betray somebody, they take a mental note, and maybe they don't come for you today. Maybe they don't come for you tomorrow. But at some point, they're going to come for you because you burned them. Hunks for life. Yeah, we were hunks together. We had an alliance, me, Jake, Colin, and it lasted 2 days because Jake and Colin both got voted out. And now I'm gone too. The hunks are dead.
Hunks are dead.
Well, I mean, I'm still a hunk, but, that's just me.
So, you think saying names moving forward as a jury member you will have respect for that?
Oh yeah, no, I'm tired of people burning their fucking votes. I'm tired of people sitting there and saying nothing. Like, granted, to be fair, I basically did the same thing tonight. But it's going to be the same fucking thing every time. It's either the clock's going to run out, we haven't come to a consensus, let the paymaster pick, and if you're on their side, great. If you're not, not. Or, we'll keep throwing votes on Shelby, and maybe she'll go at some point. But at this point, I'm going to tell you people, if you don't feel firmly in either camp, Cody or Giraffes, work with Shelby. Like, Shelby is on an island now. Shelby clearly is willing to throw it all at the fucking wall. And Shelby clearly has a lot of contempt for a lot of people in this game. Like, I'm very interested to see where Shelby's game goes from here, because it was, like I said, it was completely antithetical to what I was doing. Like, me and Shelby were working very closely together. And every time she would blow up the group chat, in her private chat, I'd be like, oh, that's so cool. In my head, I'd be like, please don't fucking burn me. I'm so afraid of what she's going to say. And I'm sure a lot of information is going to come out tonight because there was someone, I'll say the name, I don't really give a fuck, because Shelby's going to say it anyway. Lucy and Shelby were also, quote unquote, working together. And Lucy said Shelby's name tonight. And Shelby was not happy. So we'll see how that blows up. And my thoughts on Lucy are, I absolutely adore her as a human being. Like, I know she has a lot going on in her real life, and I have nothing but respect for her. Like, she opened up to me in a very real way, and I feel like I opened up back to her. Like, I want to be Lucy's friend in real life because I guess vibe with her so much. But, you know, the game is an entirely different place. Like, you can only hide in the shadows for so long.
And you think Lucy's doing that?
I mean, yeah, has anyone other than me ever said Lucy's name, to be honest with you? And, like, that's not to throw shade. I'm sure the people who she's working with know that they're working with her. But yeah, I mean, I think throughout this interview, I've thrown shade at pretty much every single person. So, you know, I want to see.
Here, let me pull the past. Let's fuck it. Who else is there?
Too many floated to Journey's luck right now. Yeah, that's the thing is, like, I didn't want to be a voice. I wanted Jake to be a voice. I wanted Cody to be a voice. I wanted people, and Shelby. There were plenty of people saying many more things than I did. I just said enough. I just felt like I needed to take a stand because I wanted to have a side with numbers that I can ride to the end. There's no majority alliance in this game. There's no more than 4 people working together at a time. Like, I was trying to form a majority alliance that could have literally run the fucking game to the end. Like, math is a very simple concept. It's not that difficult. And I on a personal level, I think they're all amazing people. I just feel like it's an org. Like, play your heart out. Like, why are you playing scared? Why are you not voting for the people you actually want to vote for? It's not worth salvaging these relationships. Like, if they know or assume they're against you, they're probably against you. Like, it doesn't take that much to figure it out. I could lie to Cheyenne's face all I want all day long and say, I'm still with you. I'm never going to turn against you. But by the end, I didn't want to do that. Like, I really respect and love Cheyenne as a person. And I genuinely felt bad lying to her face and then throwing her name out again. And was it bad?
When did you lie to Cheyenne?
Me and Cheyenne early on were working very closely together. Like, it's a quick comment you'll catch on the stream. But the day I turned against Cody, he literally says that Cheyenne said to me today, she trusts you more than anyone. I was working closely with Cheyenne. And like I said, I turned on her, and I didn't want to turn on her. I wanted to turn on Cody. And Cheyenne has made it clear that they are working together. Maybe she hasn't made it clear to me. She tried to tell me they're not, but he comes to her aid at every turn. He's not doing her any favors. But no, I love and respect her so much. Like, I think she's an amazing person. I think she has an amazing personality. I think she's really fucking cool, and I think she's a very good game player. I just think that she came in late. She made an attachment with someone who was showing her kindness, and she's loyal to the soil and was never willing to go against him. But he's going to go. I mean, Cody's not going to win this game. I can say that for sure.
Do you think he'll be a GOAT?
I don't think he's going to the end, no. I think he's going to go sooner rather than later, just because he's so vocal. If he makes it to the end, maybe I'll fucking vote for him if he makes it to the end, but Cody is, like Jake, one of the people who was so vocal that he's going to end up going.
He was quiet tonight.
That's fair. I think he's realized, he was fairly quiet, except when he said my name twice.
Sorry about
I think that Cody's good at apologizing and saying, this isn't who I am, don't think of me that way. But at the end of the day, it seems very clear that it's a manipulation. Like, he still keeps going back to the same well of behaviors time after time after time.
Yeah. And if Cheyenne and him, you say it's Cody and then Giraffes. How do you feel about Giraffes?
Up until like 2 weeks into the game, I had a chat with every single person in the house except for Giraffes. And that's because for some reason I just didn't think Giraffes was really playing with me, which maybe is a testament to what Giraffes was actually doing. And then literally the day I ended up on the bottom with Colin, that was literally the day I finally started to chat with Giraffes and was like, hey, we should talk. Just because, yes, it's always good to talk to people. And that's when I was with Colin. I was able to say very clearly, like, hey, Colin put a vote on you. I said today I want to work with you. Like, who do you want to keep? And, like, I think Giraffes has been vocal and made their feelings known that they don't agree with what Cody is doing, and they're going after Cody. And like, if y'all want to ride the middle, the smart thing to do would be take out the heads of the snakes on both sides and let the numbers dwindle. Like, it's not.
So if Cheyenne is did you say Cheyenne is the brains of the Cody operation?
Sure.
Would you say Giraffes is the head of the other operation?
Yeah, I think Giraffes is playing the game. I think Giraffes doesn't need, like, I think Giraffes is the brain. Yeah, I think that, like, we had a plan going in, and Giraffes was definitely a part of that plan. And if you look at the tape, me and Giraffes put our hands up for Cody. Like, we were the ones. I'm telling you, I look like such an ass because, like, I was so confident when I voted for Cody. I was like, okay, finally, this is the time. I'm going to go for Cody. Put him on. Not going to lie, the first time I ever voted for Cody, I didn't think he had an actual idol. I thought he was full of shit. I thought he was going home 2 weeks ago. It's shocking he's made it this far. And the fact that him and Cheyenne have made it this far with half the house gunning for them, if I didn't take a shot at Cody, they would be sitting in the final two. There's no doubt in my mind. They would have kept their structure the whole way through. They would have kept all their advantages until they actually needed them, and then they would have made it right to the end.
Mm-hmm. Do you think all advantages are done?
I think Cheyenne still has one, if I remember correctly, but I don't think it's super useful to what they're trying to do.
So that makes it kind of an advantage on that side, dare I say.
It's an advantage. I think it would have been an advantage to me tonight if she would have used it. I know exactly what it is. And if you do any research into public information and you're in the game, you'll also know what it is. It's not hard to find out. People are bad at holding on to information. Like, I kept a lot of secrets, and the people I talk to every day know how many secrets I kept. And the only people I told those secrets to were the two people I spoke to every day. And I told them, I only really trusted two people. I'm not going to name those people. And the people that I trusted, I gave my entire game to because I didn't want them to find my game out from anybody else. And I don't think they ever did because I was very good at making sure my game didn't get out.
I do not see the chats. I do not see behind the scenes. But would it be safe to assume as a viewer with no prior information? You said today that you love Debbie. With those two people.
You can assume whatever you want.
Okay,
I will say that those are the two people I probably connected most to on a personal level. Like, when I was sitting next to them, when I say I loved those people the most, that was a genuine feeling. I'm not really a human being. I don't have that many feelings, to be honest with you.
You're a robot.
They made me feel I wanted to come in as a game bot. I didn't want to fucking care about anybody. Mm-hmm. And they made me care about them because they're amazing people. So, like, did I talk some game with both of them? Sure. I talk game with them. I talk game with a lot of different people. Mm-hmm. But are they the people I was closest with too? No, they're not the people I was closest with too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We don't have many options left.
Mine, it was Johnny. I'm sorry, Johnny. I didn't mean to blow up your fucking spot.
Okay, so we've talked about Debbie, and we talked about Kyra. Kyra? Yeah, Kyra.
Kyra.
And Shelby, Cheyenne, Cody, Jarvis.
Who haven't I talked about? That's a great question. I think Jess is shrinking. Like,
Jess. I mean, Jess today made the decision to kind of go against the house, if you will, and keeping.
Yeah, Shelby. I was interested in her choice to evict Alexis. I'm not gonna lie. Like, on a personal level, like, me and Alexis were in the same limo originally. We both dealt with the whole KG shit show. Mm-hmm. If you're uninformed, KG was in early in the game and got kicked out for yelling at production. He also, before he yelled at production, yelled at me for like 20 minutes straight.
I'm listening to you. I'm grabbing my laptop charger. I'm listening.
But no, Alexis, like, I think she's a very nice girl. I think we vibed really well on a personal level, but she, at this point in the game, had almost no allies. She was someone who could, and I don't want to speak for her game. I'm so sorry. Like, if you're out of the game, Alexis, and you want to have your own exit interview and spill all the people you were working with, I'd love to hear it. Because from my perspective, I feel like she didn't have a lot of close allies, and sending her home did not really serve Jess's game when, like, I understand why she kept Shelby. Like, Shelby saved her in the chain over me. Shelby saved her over me, third to last, okay? The person Shelby was working closely with. But yeah, I don't know why she sent home Alexis. Like, I think I really thought we'd get Cody in the block. I thought the votes were there. I wish I won Paymaster myself. I was surprised I came in second in that comp, to be honest. Like, I had the coins on my finger. I could have stood up longer. I guess the coins fell off, you know. That's life.
Okay, we have 2 updated comments from the chat of viewers wanting to know. Okay, just let's hone a little bit more on Debbie. the viewers want to know a little bit more about your thoughts on Debbie.
I think that Debbie is a wonderful human being. She is a mother who cares about her children deeply. And
as a game player, as your ally,
ooh, you're calling her my ally. I don't know if I ever said that.
Oh, okay. I mean, you.
I think that Debbie has good intentions in the game. I think she has good instincts in the game.
Wait, pause. Would you say she's not your ally?
I would say that we had a lot of personal conversations and we did
Okay.
talk in game, but she's a friend first and ally second.
Okay.
That's kind of where I'm at with her. You know, I always enjoyed every so often we'd have a phone call and it would have to end because she was being a mother, which is so sweet. I love that. But no, I think that like she is trying to navigate. We're all trying to navigate. I think that, you know, maybe she should trust her own instincts a little bit more. I definitely offered her some guidance to be sure, but you know, it's everyone's offering each other guidance. People come to you and ask you for reads. Like I gave a lot of people different reads. I had a lot of different reads on people.
So you guys just compared reads over other like.
Every so often, yeah. Like I said, most of our relationship was personal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that sums it up. Okay, and then Emma would like to know, Emma, can you clarify in the chat specifically what comment? And we'll go back to that. So Emma, if you can clarify that. And then, why did you? Okay, we're gonna go just next up. The chat's popping off. Thank you, chat.
I have a lot of thoughts. I'm glad I
They
have
love
this.
you. They love you. Okay.
Game, not on the stream. You'll never know watching the stream what I actually did.
Okay, yeah. I mean, hey, listen, I played the game twice. I'm right here with you. Most of the game is like behind the scenes, but let's see. So, what are your thoughts? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, after you.
Okay. What were your thoughts on the cast going after Shelby when she had the receipts about Jake and they didn't like it? From Joseph.
The cast going after Shelby when she had the receipts on Jake. What receipts? I'm a little.
Okay, Joseph, can you clarify what exactly?
I mean, people have been targeting Shelby for a while. Like, honestly, part of the reason I turned on Cody to begin with was because that night, the night I turned on Cody, they wanted to get the votes on Shelby. And we were still playing a team game. And I didn't know how long we'd be in a team game. And I realized that if I don't start pulling numbers away from Cody and into me, I could be at the bottom of the team. I could get voted out at some point. So I tried to work more closely with Shelby and push Cody out so that we would have numbers. And she kept getting targeted. I mean, mostly by Cody. Cody and Cheyenne were coming after her for a while. I think there were quite a few people who started coming after her because she evicted Jess. And which is funny. She took all the heat from that. Thank you for not selling me out and saying I had influence in that decision. Which, again, Shelby made her own decision. I guess took a huge gamble and put in all the work I possibly could to try to push Jess out. But yeah, I guess I was gonna say before you asked a question, like what you'll see on the stream is a perception I was trying to create that I was a weak player. Like I was in the bottom. I ended up on the block the other day. I wanted people to think that I was a weak player, that if they wanted to vote for me, they could voting for me. But every time, even the night I went against Cody, I volunteered to go on the block and they could never get the votes on me. Oh, okay. That wasn't brought up on the stream. And I'm going to go into that situation because I want to be very clear about that situation. But I tried to create a perception of myself.
What Joseph had said about.
Yeah, I'm reading Dylan's comment right now, and I'm going to go into that in 1 second. I just want to say that I was trying to lower my threat level so that I could, once I had the numbers, people wouldn't eventually turn on me. That's the perception I was trying to create on the stream. And I think I succeeded in that. Like, I think most of the information I gave out tonight, half the cast is like, where did this even come from? I don't think they realized how much of a game player it actually was. But so there was a situation that came up the other day.
Can I say something really fast?
Yeah.
If someone had said something very offensive or any of the isms, racism, you know, all that stuff, they will be kicked out immediately of the game.
And so that's what Dylan is alluding to is that, okay. I'm going to say this from a very genuine human level outside of the game. Basically, the situation that went down was that, again, we've gone into Cody has displayed problematic behavior. He has never been ableist. He has never been any of this. And Jake revealed in his exit interview that he's on the spectrum, which is very brave of him to do.
Mm-hmm.
And in a personal conversation, I don't know what the context of the game was. I just know what I heard from a personal side was that Cody had made a comment or laughed at something, and it was interpreted by, I'll just say the name at this point. It was interpreted by Debbie. She had a feeling about something that had happened. She thought that maybe it was, feelings are valid. If she thought that maybe Cody was expressing something, that's just a feeling. But she never meant to bring it into the game. It was never meant to be part of the game. And I think that genuinely, when Lucy brought it up to Shelby, it was just in a context of conversation. I don't think it was a game move. I don't think Lucy intended for it to go to the entire house. I don't think Debbie intended it to go for the entire house. But Shelby's a very public player. And when she heard this might be true, she went straight to the chat and said, hey, is this true? If it is, one of these two people need to leave.
Right.
And at the end of the day, it was just a miscommunication. It was a misread of a comment. Like, Dylan went back and watched the tape. Cody did not do anything ableist. Debbie did not create a lie for strategy. She just misheard something. I don't even know what the exact quote was or what she even saw. I just know she had a feeling. And that's fair. It's fair to have a feeling. Like,
and this is a very serious matter. And, I'm someone that's very passionate about this stuff too. We're not going to support a program that allows this behavior.
No, it's never okay to make fun of someone who's on the spectrum. It's never okay to be racist. It's never okay to be homophobic. It's never okay to be transphobic. None of these things are okay, and the game takes that very seriously. Right. And if they felt like Cody made any of those comments, they would have kicked him out. And if they felt like Debbie made up that Cody made a comment to make a strategic move, they would have kicked Debbie out.
Right.
Neither of those things are true. It was never meant to be part of the game. It was just a conversation that was had on a personal level that was put into a game context by accident. I'd ignore the whole situation in terms of the game. Like, don't have this come back on anybody because genuinely it was just a series of miscommunications. It should have never, and I'm glad it wasn't brought up on the stream tonight because it wasn't necessary to be brought up.
It wasn't necessary, and I'm glad the viewers are hearing this so they know that it's, no reputations are tarnished. Everyone had good intent, and the game isn't being played that way. And I guess I know the castmates are watching this, even though they're not supposed to. I hope moving forward, if the castmates can hear this, no audience member wants to see this impacting the gameplay, knowing that production is with, keeping everyone safe.
I was avoiding this topic because I don't feel like I'm one to speak on it. I know at the beginning of the stream, Lucy did bring up an issue that she felt that, I guess from a pure optical perspective, you can look and see that, everyone who voted for Cheyenne the other night was not a person of color. And what I'll say about that is when I played the game, I loved working with a lot of different people. I worked with everybody of all backgrounds. And any moves I made were not personal in any way, shape, or form. And this game, they cast very diverse people. I know in reality TV, Big Brother, Survivor, all these games, it is an issue. Like, there are people who haven't, for years and years and years, there was never an African-American winner of Big Brother, and that's fucked up.
Yeah.
In this game, many of the people who have won are people of color, and that's amazing. I love that that's part of this game. And I love how diverse the cast is. When I looked at this cast, I never once for a second looked at it with any form of trying to play with people of color, trying not to play with people of color. I just played with people the entire way through. I love everyone in this cast. Like I said, I fuck with all these people on a personal level. And it's, I think Lucy was just making the point of, it's likely in these games with life experiences that people of similar backgrounds might end up working together. And that's totally valid. We're all just people. We all have experiences. Like, it's fair to want to work with people who you feel like you connect with. Like, it's totally fair. But yeah, no, I felt like, I don't think it's something that needed to be brought up into this particular game because I don't think that's what's in play here. Like, when I was
production would say something. I'll say
exactly. And that's not why anyone is making the moves they're making. That's not why I made any of the moves I was making. I went against Cody because I just felt like that's where the numbers were. I felt like it was a game move. I thought it was a move that made sense for my game. And like I said, he has displayed some problematic behavior. Like, that's not unfair to say. And anyone can do that. Anyone can display problematic behavior, But no, I think everyone in this cast is coming from it with a good heart. I think everyone's head really is in the right place. And I think they're all amazing people. Like I said, I love talking with Cheyenne. I really love her on a personal level. I'm sorry I betrayed you twice, possibly 3 times.
Speaking of Cheyenne. speaking of Cheyenne, just so Emma doesn't go unnoticed, she does want to be. She wants her question of. I think a lot of people want to know this, and I don't think it's just you, as to why people were targeting Cheyenne when
The other night, it's very simple. The only reason I put votes on Cheyenne was that I knew that either Cody or Cheyenne were the paymaster, and if I didn't put votes on somebody, I was going on the block.
Okay.
It's like when you're sitting there and you don't know who the paymaster is going to choose to go in, you want to put votes on anybody that you can get votes on. And the people, like, yes, from a purely optical standpoint, like, Lucy was correct that the people who stood up for Cheyenne, Kyra, Jarvis, and Johnny all had different reasons for doing it. They were all people of color. That's, just a fact. But they, Johnny felt like she was at work and it wasn't fair to put the votes on her. I think Kyra was a little bit scared of what would happen if she did put a vote on her and it didn't go through, even though she tried to at the last minute. It just didn't work. And I think Jarvis, like I said, is kind of playing a scared game. Like, he didn't want to put a vote on someone who could possibly throw him on the block. And that's the crazy part, is if you would have thrown the vote on her, he couldn't have gone on the block. I ended up going on the block. I almost went home. And that's why I threw votes on Cheyenne. That's the only reason I ever targeted Cody and Cheyenne was, like I said, I came at it from a numbers perspective. I felt like that was my best shot at making it far in the game. Did it work out? No, that's fine. Like I said, I have no regrets. I'm very comfortable with the game I played.
Why would you think it was Cheyenne when she was at work?
I don't know. I know in Big Brother, they're very firm on you can't use production as a strategy. And I want to say, for everybody, we have an amazing production team. Like, they are so phenomenal at what they do. They put so much care and effort into the game. I would not have enjoyed my experience nearly as much as I have if it wasn't for them. Thank you to Chantel for finding me on Twitter with 18 followers and asking me if I wanted to play this game. It was out of the blue, but I don't know. I mean, if Cheyenne told them I'm at work and they have no reason not to believe she's at work, she has been going to a lot of movie shoots recently. Right after the stream was over, the stream ended at 10. At 10:01, she was on phone calls with people and mad at people for voting for her. So clearly she had time to watch the stream and get all the notes on the stream and make phone calls right after. So a little suspicious, but it could have been Cody or Cheyenne who was paymaster. But I know almost for a fact it was one of the two.
Okay. With that, actually, there's one more. Sorry. You want to know? I'm sorry. The chat loves you. Lastly is they just want to hear your thoughts on Lucy a little bit more before we end this.
Oh boy, my thoughts on Lucy. I think that Lucy's done a good job of keeping her name out of the conversation. And finally, tonight, Shelby acknowledged that fact and said, Lucy, why does no one ever say your name? Like I said, I love Lucy. I know I love Lucy. I know that in her actual life, like, follow her on TikTok, please. She just had a TikTok that blew up, and she is an advocate for, she has a lung disease that she got from vaping. And she's an advocate for people who, know of the dangers of vaping. But you're cool, Erin. I like you.
I'm sorry.
And she was literally interviewed by a reporter today, which is amazing. So, like, I don't know how much her head has been in the game recently just because she has other amazing things going on in her life. And I'm very happy for her that she has that. But, I mean, yeah, no, I think, I love her on a personal level. I think she could have picked a side. She didn't pick a side. No one's really picking a side. I was really the only one who very loudly said, I have a side. Join my side. Let's do this.
Okay, this will be the last question for the night. Why do you trust Shelby so much when she is shown to be untrustworthy? From Emma.
Oh, I don't trust Shelby. No one can trust Shelby. I think Shelby is a self-interested player. I think that she recognized early on that her position in Cody's alliance was not good, that he was going to get rid of her the first chance he got, and she did not like the way Cody was playing the game. And she came to me and said, hey, do you want to jump ship on Cody? And I was feeling some of the same things. And I said, yeah, that would be fun. You can't trust Shelby for shit. When I threw Jess under the bus, I threw Jess under the bus hard. And I said to her, Jess is the most dangerous player in the game. This is your one chance to take this shot. You have to do this. And what did she do in return? Oh, and I'm pretty sure Jess sold me out to her in a lot of different ways, so I understand her reasoning. Like I said to her, never confront Jess. Jess will fight back. She will lie. She will manipulate. She will get you on her side. And she did. And one day, Jess turned Shelby, my ally of a week who I'd been working closely with, against me. And a half hour before the stream, Shelby was going to keep Jess. They made an all-girls alliance, and Shelby was sending Jess all the things I was saying to her, saying, is this true? And the only reason she didn't keep her is because she did not have a good alternative to send out. And I said to her, if Jess can do this to you in one day, what do you think her skill set is, you know? But no, Shelby, I mean, what I'm saying is that Shelby's entertaining. And if you're in a place in the game right now where you feel like, I'm not on Cody's side, I'm not on Giraffe's side, I don't know where this is going to go, what's the problem working with Shelby? Why target Shelby when clearly she's not working with anybody anymore? What value to your game does it add to voting her out than appeasing people who clearly aren't on your side? But no, I'm so entertained, Brandon, for All-Stars. I'd come back. I really would. I don't think I'd play a different org. I think it's very time-consuming, and the way I played was I said if I'm going to do it once, I'm going to do it once, and I'm going to play to my fullest. I really wanted to play the Kevin Jacobs game for BB Can 10, like, just have fun with it, never make it personal, do a lot behind the scenes, and explain it all in the end. And I feel like that's what I did to the best of my ability, and at the end of the day, I didn't go out through missteps in my own game. I went out because other people couldn't see the benefit of what I was trying to accomplish for them. But yeah, no, I think Shelby, like, I want to see her on the stream. I think what she was saying today by the end of the stream, fuck you all, it was so much fun. It was so entertaining. Like, it was so cool when she didn't end up going home. And like, it's going to get more entertaining because now that she knows her back is against the wall, she's going to blow up the group chat and throw shit at the wall, and it's going to be great. I'm excited to see what happens.
All right, Brandon. With that, you are a joy to talk to. I'm so happy. And you know what? Give yourself a hand. Give Chad a hand. You're the first juror. You should be proud of yourself. We hope to see you again. And I'm so glad we got to talk. You're amazing.
It's soothing. It's like fucking therapy. Like, instead of saying it to a jury under pressure, I could just spill all this shit out.
Yeah, you're amazing.
And now I'm in the jury. I could just fucking shoot the shit with people who come in and finally find out what the fuck happened in this game.
All right. Thank you, chat. Goodbye, everyone.
Take care.
Okay, Dylan, end it.
That was weird.